close in, and that you put it against the skin. Now with that, you have two nodes, I would say, that attach or connect with the skin. And there's less than an inch between those two nodes. So whatever muscle tissue you have between that inch level, that's more of pain compliance. And it's not electrocuting the entire body. It's supposed to make you stop fighting so you can put the person into custody. So as we move on, we'll have more information. I will be very open and honest about this investigation and bring it to the public. And we will review it. And most likely, I'm also thinking about bringing in experts on this particular one to take a look at it, since it's such a high-profile incident. To be perfectly honest, make sure that people know that I'm not trying to hide anything, or the police department's trying to hide anything, and we'll look at the best standards.
Commissioner, what about the concern of targeting repeat violent offenders?
We're continuing to, that continues to be our cornerstone as we deal with the violence within the city as a whole as we go into the summertime. But we're making sure that we have a new operation now that's called Operation Cool Down. I didn't name it that, so just make sure that you know that. But Operation Cool Down is focused on reducing neighborhood violence. We're focusing on clearing up open violent criminal cases. So if you have violent repeat offenders that are out there that have open warrants, we're knocking on doors. We're also looking to maintain safety in public spaces, much like we're talking about the Inner Harbor for some of the other major events that are going on through the summer, to make sure that we keep a safe city. And, you know, when we talk about the term violent repeat offender, what's so critical about that is the vast majority of our community, you don't have people out committing violence. And I don't want people to walk away thinking that you have a ton of people in Baltimore. You probably have closer to 1 to 5% of our entire population that's causing any problems. Very few people cause the problems that take place in our city. So what we're doing and making sure that we don't go and make mass arrests on our community or mass arrests on our citizens, we're focusing on those people who we know who have taken lives, who have the propensity to take lives, and have propensity of harm in our community.
One more question. We've got some folks want to ask a question. What's happening with Operation Ceasefire?
Ceasefire, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that, because today is one of our first days that we go online this evening. And with Operation Ceasefire, what you try to do, and the interesting concept of that is it was started by a gentleman named David Kennedy. And David's out of John Jay College. And what he does is that he brings the police department and all your law enforcement agencies together. You identify there again that 1 to 5% are who are their most violent people. What we're doing right now is that we're bringing in people out of the Western District who have a history of violence, not people that we're just picking and choosing, but have a history of being extremely violent. We're sitting them down in a room, and it can be anywhere from 30 to 50 people. And we're sharing with them that we know exactly who they are. Who will be at that meeting will be the U.S. Attorney, Rod Rosenstein. It would be the special agents in charge from the FBI, Drug Enforcement Administration, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearm, the police department, and, as well as the state's attorney. And what we will tell them is that we want you to be successful, but we will not allow violence to take place in our community. So we've identified these people who we know are the most violent over there and have the propensity of making crime. And then at the same time, we're not only leaving it with the law enforcement piece, we're going to have wraparound services there too. And really what we want to do is push them to the wraparound services to try to help them to make sure that they're successful and that they don't get in trouble. But if they fall off the boat and they don't use the wraparound services, what we're sharing is that we have all these agencies there. But we're not going to go after just one person that's in that group. If we have a group and that group has, let's say, a gang name or gang moniker, we're going to put pressure on the entire group. And so what we really want is the group to self-police itself, to make sure that the younger guys or the guys who are hotheads don't go out and do something crazy, because if they do, we're going to take down the entire gang and the entire group, and we're going to bring them into justice. And so it has worked in 65 other cities. It has dramatically reduced violence, and we want it to work here in Baltimore, and I have high hopes for it going into the summer.
Very well. Sandra, you have a question for the commissioner, a statement?
I'm just concerned about our area up here and then Madonna. It seems that we have an influx of gangs of people coming in doing territory takeoff. Over the weekend, we had 2 or 3 kids get beat and stomped. They have taken over apartments, 3 or 4 apartment buildings from Liberty Heights down to Fulton. I can't believe it. And we're not getting much help up here. I don't know where they're transferring the people out, but they're over in Madonna Mall, the MTA, young kids running around with book bags all day long. And if you could just come and see it, you can't believe it. And it's not enough for the police to just ride by and they see all these kids out here, you know, and they out here all night, you know. So I'm very through. I support it. I want the parents to be responsible, and the community leaders need to know what y'all are doing so that we can help and pass the word.
Yes, ma'am. I, you know, as I've done the nighttime speeches with the mayors, we've moved around the city. One of the issues that was brought out clear is that the bus hub up there at Mondawmin, we're kind of caught in a very strange place with that. Probably where we have the kids coming and going, their ingress and egress throughout the city. We put more police officers to those locations than any other places in the city, whether it's downtown, the northeast, or in the western, everywhere we have kids and you have the multiple schools coming to the bus stops. They pull a lot of our resources after school every single day. The thing is unless those young people are committing a crime, there's not a whole lot we can do. We're there, we're on